Cone Health's Jenny Edminson, who is talking about empty nest syndrome after your child moves off and on their own. All right, so as hard as it may be to give your college student a little bit of space to get settled in their new norm, new environment, just how important is that for both, not just them, but for also the parents at home?
Yeah, so I know you hate to hear it, but it's very important. Having that space is what is going to help them establish their independence and be flourishing rather than stagnated. I do want to help us keep in mind, though, that space does not equal absence. So you don't have to never talk to them. You don't need to run away. Definitely be present. But we're trying to take the shift away from as soon as they have an issue, they run to mom and dad, to they try to problem solve themselves and mom and dad are the backup. So by giving them that space, you can help that transition along.
I mean, you've kind of taught them to do that all along, right? But then all of a sudden, when that is the only option, you kind of go, oh, is that what's happening? Okay. So without seeing or possibly talking with your teen every single day, which you used to do, how do you then advise parents on staying calm and ways to stay connected?
Yeah, so I want us to be fluid with our idea of communication. So before it may have always been face-to-face or you mandated phone calls, but now maybe text might be your main way, and daily check-ins via text, and then longer video chats or calls once a week, etc. With the biggest thing we want to remember as parents is that we know our children. Like you said a minute ago, Tanya, you've prepared them for this. You've raised them up to this. So this is scary, yes, but you know them and you know what they can handle and what they can't.
All right, so what signs should parents look for that may indicate that their teen or adult child may be struggling with the transition?
So similar to with the parents, with the children, we also want to pay attention to those big things that get in the way of normal functioning. So if you happen to know their class schedule, but they always seem to be calling you back during class, that means they're not going, right? Check in with basic stuff like, are they eating? Do they seem to be sleeping?
Hey, Jenny, I don't mean to interrupt you. Oh, there it went. You were frozen and now you're not frozen. Okay, so we're back. That's okay. Keep going with your train of thought. So what do we do if we think that they might be having troubles?
Exactly. So we want to check out for those things that are impeding daily functioning. So if they're not sleeping, eating, going to class, etc., if you never get a hold of them, those are the things you really want to pay attention to.
All right, so then what help is available if a parent or a young adult is struggling with that transition right now?
Yeah. So as far as your teens go, college counseling centers are on every campus and always a good place to start. As far as parents and also children, Cone Health Behavioral Health Outpatient has offices throughout the Triad area that are more than willing to help with any kind of therapy or needs you might have. A really great program we have right now is our virtual partial hospitalization program, which is going to give you the maximum support and helping you regrow during this time of transition, both for parents and for children.
All right, let's talk about COVID-19, because what advice do you have for parents who are kind of worried, you know, not only have I taken my kid to college, but COVID-19 is still in our community?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's no secret. We already know it. So keep encouraging them to follow the 3 W's, to follow any mask mandates. Make sure they have whatever supplies, such as plenty of masks, Clorox wipes, whatever thing, hand sanitizer, and remind them every time you talk to them to stay vigilant.
All right, so before we let you go, I wanted to put up the phone number one more time, just so folks would have it, and it is 336-832-9800. And again, yes, when they call this number, who do they ask for? What should they be asking for?
So that number, you just let people know that you're struggling and we'll direct you to where you need to go.
Whether that this is an issue for me or this is an issue for my child or it's an issue for both and we both need some help that way.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So empty nest syndrome, it is something that is normal. It is something that most parents go through. Should we feel guilty if we don't go through it?
Absolutely not. There's actually abundance of research right now that shows more and more parents are not struggling with empty nest syndrome. I think, you know, who knows where that actual research is falling, but more and more we're taking it as a new opportunity for parents. And absolutely we can view it that way. It doesn't make us less than a parent to be proud and excited about a new opportunity for us as well as them.
And it's also not too, like, you know, in their face if we're like, hey, how about we go to dinner one night next month and I get to meet your suite mates? That's not a bad thing either.
No, are you kidding me? College students love free meals. Yes, come pay for that.
That's right. Yes. And then take me to Target and buy me the things. Thank you so much, Jenny. We so appreciate it. Giving us some strategies and some helps. If you missed any of this, what you need to do is just look at WFMYnews2.com, and we've got your resource numbers there as well.